Okay, this is a 97 Harley Ultra Classic. Had a little problem in here with the stator. You can see the case is all ground up and the holes are coming out where the stator mounts are a little torqued out. But this is going to be a Harley hate video. Might use some profanity. If you're offended already, change the channel. So, this is what happened. See that top bolt? See this thread lock stuff? It's at the tip of the bolt. Well, I bought a new stator, which got destroyed. My flywheel got destroyed. The bolts they sold me, you can see the red. It's like halfway up the, well, half an inch up the bolt or more. It's supposed to be on the tip. So Harley suggests that you always use new bolts, which I did, and they sold me defective bolts and they fell out. And so the stator started flopping around in here and bolts started falling out. So this is what I think happened. That top bolt fell out and it ground itself up into little pieces and stuck to the magnet. Really didn't do anything after that, but then the other bolts started coming loose. The second bolt, it's only snapped in half. That one jammed in the stator and the flywheel, or the the magnetic rotor, and because there was only two bolts left, which it looks like they were loose, they snapped off, and at that point the rotor started spinning. The stator started spinning with the rotor, so it ripped the wires off, and that's when I lost power on the Blue Ridge Parkway during the Kickstart Classic American Iron annual ride on Wednesday. So anyhow, I got towed away and missed the ride, but I had put this stator in on Sunday. Bought all new stator, new regulator, new screws, and did everything like you're supposed to, but the bolts were defective and the whole thing detonated. So I put some crimps on here, which are totally stupid. This thing's all damaged. I mean, it's really banged up on the sides like that. There's a couple of those. That there's the head of one of the Allen bolts was stuck in there. If you can see all that, and the rotor's over here. I mean, it's pretty torn up. But you know what? It's a Harley. So at this point, Milwaukee's going to sell me garbage. I'm putting this thing back together like the garbage that it is. So anyhow, this bolt had fallen out. This bolt had fallen out. These two, the bottom and the one at 9 o'clock, had the tips stuck in there. And I took this one out really easy, and I said to myself, that shouldn't be coming out. The Loctite should be holding it in. And that's when I started looking at the bolts and figured it all out. This one just screwed right out as well. There was nothing, these little tiny little bolts, it's like 20 inch-pounds, which is like 2 pounds of torque. So they absolutely have to have Loctite on them, and that's why you replace the bolts. But Harley's selling defective bolts, and you will break down. And I'm supposed to be at the Nashville rally right now, but I'm not, because I'm working on this piece of junk. So anyhow, the bolt number is 2918. Anyone who has stock of those bolts should pull them all and see if the goop is in the right spot, because I was sold the wrong or defective ones in New Jersey. And I got the right one here in Nashville. But I'm going to throw this thing back together. I can't find the parts here. They're in Alabama someplace, and I'm not driving to Alabama. I want to go to a rally. So if this thing kicks out some voltage, when I put it back together, great, I'll go. And if, I'll break down another day. But I'm not going to buy new parts from Harley Davidson, I can tell you that. I think this 97 is going to get used parts from now on. I mean, when this thing messed up, I put in the regulator, new regulator, new stator, new, what's that thing? A little circuit breaker, and that's that. But if anybody is changing one of these things, you can just pull the chain off like this, drape it down. You gotta just unbolt the thing, leave it hanging. You should replace that. Let's say whatever nut, a lock nut. This is 1.5 inches. You can see the wrench slipped and tore a piece off, and that's on really, really tight. You gotta pop that off. That's, I don't know what size it is, 9/16 or something. But it's not hard. You don't have to take the clutch off. If for some reason you did, you can take that off. But the wire, you have to undo the plug. I have to take the plug off. To just have the terminals like that. That's a pain in the ass. The plug's around here someplace down there. There should be a socket around here. I can tell you the size of that. It's just disappointing. It's really disappointing. I'm really extremely disappointed. So anyhow, so that's the warning that I can give you with this video. It's just to make sure your bolts are proper, or else it's going to fall apart and you'll be stuck. I had some really nice guys from Texas who are in the run, the Kickstart Classic run, who picked me up, and we were right at the end of the Blue Ridge Parkway, which I think is still North Carolina maybe. And the rally was coming toward Nashville, and so it was easy for them to bring me to Nashville, which they did, and brought me right to my house where I am right now. So God bless those guys from Texas. All right, good luck.